Hi everyone, it's Paula and welcome back to a brand new video. So today's video is in a little bit of a different setup again, and it is going to be all about my braces. So I'm going to talk to you all about my braces and a brace update, because I've only ever did one video about my braces, and it was sort of like not that long after I got them back in September last year, I think it was. And it's now been 8 months. Like, can you believe it? I can't believe it's been 8 months, because in the beginning I was like, take them out, and I hated it. So I'm more than like just over halfway through my whole brace journey. I can't actually believe that I've got this far. And yeah, so I feel like it's time for an update. So today's video is going to go focus on 3 things: the changes that I've sort of seen and the process. Number 2, the costs. And this is going to be a big one because this is a question that everyone keeps asking me. And I wasn't sure whether I wanted to share this or not, but then I thought, why not? So basically, when I was looking for braces, this was probably the number one thing that I wanted to know. And my orthodontist that I do go to, he does have his costs on his website, but just like every other website, it is a bit like from. His were actually very, very accurate, which I was very, very surprised about. But normally it is sort of like from, say, 3K or whatever. And you don't really know because it's always very tailored to you, and you just kind of want to have a really good idea. So I think the best way for me to explain the costs is just to share what I'm paying and every little individual little cost that comes with that in between, so you can really get a good idea of what you're going to be spending. And then lastly, I want to cover just hygiene, because I've had a few people ask me about how I look after my braces and the upkeep and what it's like. So we're going to be covering those 3 things today. So if braces aren't for you, I won't be offended, go and watch another one of my videos. But if you are interested in this, then I hope this will be helpful. Okay, so first up, I want to say about the changes that I have seen. I have seen the changes very, very quickly. So in the first few months, my teeth were moving rapidly, which worries me a lot in the sense that when I get the braces off, how quickly they could go back. And obviously you wear your retainers, but it's just really reiterated in my head that I need to wear those retainers. And I hear so many people's stories that they didn't wear them when they were younger and their teeth went back to the way they were. So I am like, I need to wear these retainers. And yeah, so I saw very, very, very quick changes straight away. It wasn't like instant, like they were straight, but really, really quick in the process. It also was difficult, I think, because so my tooth here at the front, if you watch my other video, was overlapped this way, and to make room for that to come down, this side had to kind of come out a bit. And a lot of the time it was just like, I was really embarrassed about my mouth. Like, I hated my teeth anyway, but I feel like I was very like, oh, I didn't want anyone to see because there was big gaps and they looked more crooked than they maybe did in the beginning. And you kind of just have to put yourself through that. And I know in the end it's going to be worth it in the long run, but it was quite difficult to see it like that. And I felt like there were stages and points where I was like, this looks worse. And I knew it was going to get better, but it was just to kind of get over that. So that was one thing. And then, yeah, just everything moves really fast. Like, there was points where it was very, very painful when it was moving at the front. So I go to my orthodontist every month and he will take off the wires and he will put them back on, basically, in, I guess, a different direction or wherever, and tighten them. And sometimes it's been very, very tight, and I've also had stronger wires. And yeah, I just trust him to really do what he does, and that's it, basically. So very, very happy with the results so far. So as I said, I'm in my 8th month now, and my treatment time is like anywhere between 14 and 24 months, but hopefully the 14, which would be this September. And to be honest, looking at them, we're pretty much nearly there. Like, at the moment, it's now just sort of tweaking everything and making them in place and looking at other things. So one thing that happened on my last visit was that the teeth here had moved open more, and it actually revealed a slight brown spot. So I want to get that checked out. At the moment, we think it's arrested decay, which if you've never heard of that, don't worry, I hadn't either. And that is basically like decay that's not active or something. I don't know. But anyway, I'm getting that checked out with the dentist next visit. And even if it isn't, I want to kind of get it covered up, so more cosmetics kind of like, I guess, value, and it will be I would get like a white filling or whatever they do to cover that up. And I just want to make sure my teeth are the best that they can be, and I want to keep on top of it and everything, which is exactly what I'll get to with the hygienes like at the end of this video, and we'll talk about all the hygiene cleans and stuff like that. But at the moment, very, very happy. I will show you my teeth if you guys want to see. So they are very, very straight now at the top, which is super happy about it, and they're still kind of shaping. And then at the bottom, they are in line now. So if you saw them before, at the bottom it was like one in, one out, one in, one out. And the pictures he showed me from the very beginning, like I actually couldn't believe the difference. Like when you see it, you're like, wow, they were really like that. So it's like one in, one out, and now it's like a perfect curve like that. It's going really well. I feel like I can eat much better. In the beginning, I had to be very, very careful of what I ate. I still can't really eat like steak. I find that very, very difficult. I can't chew it. So I haven't really ate red meat, and do you know what? I do eat burgers, but only from Five Guys because they're very thin. But I haven't really ate burgers or steak, and I actually feel like I've lost weight. So it's a plus. It's a plus on that side. I can pretty much eat anything now, like crisps. I love my crisps. But again, I stopped eating crisps and totally lost weight from stop eating crisps and red meat. So if you want to lose weight, probably cut out those two things out your diet. Okay, now we're going to get into the bit that you all want to know, the cost. And for me as well, when I was looking, as I said, this is something I really wanted to know. So I have some notes here which I've made personally, not for this video, just to keep track of all the money that I have spent basically. But there's three things I want to say before we get into the cost. So number one is that these costs are personal to me and my treatment plan. So when you go to an orthodontist, everything will be completely different for you. It will be very similar, similar bracket range maybe, but your problem is probably different to me. So for me, I had a lot of overcrowding. My teeth were slanted over. They were all different directions. And I will say as well, I also have an overbite, which I am not getting fixed from this. So basically my options were to fix that. The only option to fix the overbite where the top is bigger. So basically an overbite is the top is bigger, and that is to do with like your jaw structure. So the only way for me to get rid of that is to actually have jaw surgery, and I never knew this before. And I never, it's something I never ever considered, and I feel like I wouldn't want to consider it. It's not something I want to put myself through. I just don't like the idea of it. I also probably don't have the money to do it because it's very, very expensive. And then you would then obviously have to go through the brace process after that. So for me, it just wasn't an option. There was another option where we could take some teeth out and it would slightly change it, but I feel like it probably wouldn't have made that much of a difference. I wasn't that bothered by that. So I'm still going to have my overbite. So my teeth are basically just going to be very, very straight, but we're still going to have that overbite. So it all depends if you have an overbite, an underbite, if you just have crowded teeth, if you have gaps in your teeth as well, it could be that reason. So it all depends on the way that your teeth are, and the best thing to do is just to go for a consultation basically, but we'll get to that. Okay, and then number two is to note that this is UK prices and this is London prices. So if you're not from the UK, think of London as probably like the New York of America. It is probably the most expensive city in London for everything. So I'm originally from Scotland, and basically many of my friends would come down when I first moved here, and there'd be like a wine or a beer and they would be shocked at the price because it was so overpriced compared to in Scotland. So anywhere in the UK, these prices could be different. Also in London, the prices could be different too, like different areas. I'm getting my treatment in central London, which is probably one of the most expensive places that you could probably do it, I'm guessing. But it worked for me. And so I guess just take these prices with a pinch of salt, because you can maybe get it cheaper, you might end up with it more expensive, and I guess it's obviously tailored to you as well. So you see where I'm going with this. And then number three is to note that this is a private orthodontist practice. It is not an NHS one. The NHS don't offer lingual braces. I don't know about the clear ones, like the train strike style. I don't know if they do that or not, but I know that they don't offer lingual braces, and I wanted lingual braces, so I wasn't able to go to an NHS dentist to do this. So again, if you're going to go private, it's going to be more expensive. So I pulled up my note with all my costs, and I'm ready to share. Are you guys ready for this? So get a pen and paper, because you probably might want to make some notes. Fourth thing I would say to mention is that you have to kind of be aware as well that not just the actual braces costs, but that you might need extra work done, because a lot of orthodontists won't work with you if you need work done on your teeth. So if you haven't had a checkup in a really long time, I'd recommend going for one and maybe seeing if you need a lot of work done or you need any work done, because a lot of orthodontists won't work with you if you need obvious or like, yeah, pretty much obvious work done on your teeth. If you have a lot of decay, they're not going to work with you. So that's another thing to know, and that could be an extra cost. Anyway, my first cost that I had was my consultation. So when it comes to consultation, you may have to pay for a consultation, you may not. I had to pay for a consultation, and my consultation was £125. So they do say to have a few consultations in different places, and I totally agree with that. But when they're £125 each, like, that's a lot of money. So basically for me, I did a lot of research online and I just went through loads of different orthodontists, and this is the one that called out to me. I really liked his website, I liked what he did, and I kind of toyed with him in another one, and then it was just literally made a decision to go there. And luckily for me, I was very, very happy with what he recommended and what he suggested, that I was then able to go ahead. But if you didn't feel that way, then you would maybe have to pay for a consultation with someone else. So they're quite expensive, so that's the first initial cost that you would have to pay. But once I decided to go ahead, I had records done, and that was £475. So records were records of my teeth. So they used this like crazy little like thing that went in your mouth. So I didn't actually have to have molds done. We're talking proper technology here. And it goes around your mouth and basically just it scans. It's like a scanner, that's the right word. So it's a scanner for your teeth, and it will scan them in. And I think that was it, really. I think that was only done for the records, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, and then I also had to have an x-ray, which you may or may not need. And I went across the road to this other place, and that was £70, and that was like a full head x-ray, because basically he wanted to check whether or not I would need to get a bottom tooth out or not, or whether he could do it without taking it out. Luckily we didn't have to get it out, but that was another cost to add there. That was the consultation, the records done, and the x-ray, and that is then on top of my total cost. So my total cost that I was quoted is £7,200. And on the day I had my records done, I had to pay 20% of that, which was 1440. So basically I pay up every month. So every month I go there, I pay a supplement. One to look out for is an orthodontist that lets you pay it up or take out credit or whatever they offer. For me, I don't have any credit, I'm just paying per month. So like paying as I go along. And to be able to do that, I had to pay 20% up front. So the 20% was the 1440. And then each month that I go there, I pay £384 every month. So you've got to think whether or not you can afford that and whether that's in your budget or not. Obviously, your total cost could be very, very different, and it could be cheaper or it could be more expensive. So the £7,200 for me was a lingual brace on the top, which is the one behind my teeth, and then like a incognito traditional train track clear braces on the bottom. And the reason I went for the two opposite ones was basically it was cheaper. I think I said this in my last video. It was cheaper just to have the mixture. If I wanted to have both lingual braces, so that was £7,200. So to both have lingual braces, I think it was about £9,000. So there was quite a big difference between the two. And for me, I wasn't as bothered about the bottom one. Save a little bit of money. It's fine. When I look back on it, I kind of wish maybe I had got the incognito on the inside, but I saved a lot of money, so I'm pretty happy with that. There's also some other costs that you may incur. So as I said, if you need any work done before or throughout your treatment. Also, if you want to pay for your hygiene cleans. So for me, I actually go to my orthodontist for my hygiene cleans because they're able to take the wires off and they're able to give your teeth a really deep clean. Whereas before I did have a hygiene clean at my dentist where I had them, and I feel like they didn't really know what to do with it because it was just in the way. So it's much better at my orthodontist. So that's £105 as well when I want that. They recommend doing a hygiene clean every 3 months when you have braces. So again, another extra cost. You need teeth out, which I luckily didn't, but that's something that you would then have to pay either at your dentist or if your orthodontist offers that. And whitening is something I want to do at the end, because basically, because I have one on the front, I can't use whitening toothpaste, because this is something that I never knew, and I watched someone's video and I was like, oh my god, I wish someone had told me this. So if you use whitening toothpaste, you will end up with sort of little marks behind the squares at the end. So I can maybe sort of use it on the top, but I can't use it on the bottom, so I just don't use it at all. And I'm going to get my teeth whitened at the end of it, and I'm not sure how much that is, but it's quite expensive. So that's something as well that is not necessary, but something that I want to do. If you have lingual braces, then you can happily use whitening toothpaste. That's my cost, guys. It's a bit of a mouthful. There was a lot of things. I hope it was helpful. As I said, this is personal to my braces, my mouth, my teeth, and what I needed done. So it can be very, very different. And as well, it's in London. So again, it just gives you a rough idea, and I feel like I wish I'd had someone tell me how much theirs was so I could get a rough idea. Now onto the last part of my brace chat. I hope you're still with me. So a lot of you asked me about hygiene and just how you look after them. So as I said, I have a hygiene clean every 3 months at the orthodontist. My at-home kit is as follows. So basically I use this, which is the Oral-B goodness knows. It's just like one of the really high-tech ones that has the smart app. After I got my braces, I had a Colgate toothbrush before, like an electric one, and I was like, I want literally the best toothbrush that you can get, because if I'm spending all this money on my teeth, I want to make sure I'm looking after them. And I much prefer this to like the Philips one, because this one has like such a round head. Like, you guys, can you see that? I just have quite a small mouth, so it's nice and easy. It has loads of different settings, so there is like a tongue cleaner even, and a sensitive setting. I just tend to use it on like the first setting, and with the app as well. I don't really use it, but it kind of shows you how to do your teeth basically, and like the quadrants, and to do 2 minutes, and it's super helpful. And then because I can't floss because of the way the braces are, I use these, which are the little TP interdental brushes. This is a yellow one. I have different colours, so different colours mean they're different sizes, so it's for the spaces in between your teeth, and it just cleans the gum line, and these are just like amazing. They're so good as well for getting food out of your braces, so to do it up the way and get that food out from in between them. So good. I even carry like one of these around with me in my handbag, just like after eating, if I just need to go to the toilet and get some food out. Another one of my best friends is wax, as you probably would know if you've watched any brace videos. This one is done apparently because I use it that much, but at the moment I don't really need to use wax as much. In the very beginning I was like plopping it on everywhere just because it was so painful. It's only really at the bottom. The lingual one doesn't hurt. I just kept rubbing it. At the moment, sometimes I put it on at the side bits if they rub quite a bit. Your orthodontist will probably give you some of these as well, but a link below where I get mine. They're like £1 a pack, and I think that's what they are. And they are just super, super helpful, and you just don't want to be without this. My other cleaning gods are this, which is the Waterpik water flosser, and I never had one of these before. Like, I need one of these. So you fill it up with water here, and it has 2 settings. You just spray it and you just put it around your mouth, and it gets rid of all the food in your braces. It's so, so good, and also sort of between your teeth, but I still obviously use the interdentals too. But it's really great just to kind of clean out your mouth and get food out of the braces. For toothpaste, I have a couple, but my favourite one is the Oral-B, and this is the gum and enamel repair, and this was actually recommended to me by the hygienist, and this is what I use basically. So my teeth feels nice and fresh. And then lastly, I also use a mouthwash, but not straight after I brush my teeth. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to use it sort of in between. So this is the Vitis. Don't know, the orthodontist recommended this, and it has like an apple taste. It literally tastes like apple sours, like the shots. So when I use it, I hope people don't think I've been drinking. And yeah, it's really, really good for your braces because it's got like aloe vera in it, and it's really, really like just hydrating on the gums. So another good one. That's my cleaning routine basically. So I hope this video was helpful. So if you're thinking of getting braces or you already have them, I hope that you found this video useful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box. Everything I mentioned will be in the description box as always. Give this video a like, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and come back for a brand new video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.